Appreciate y'all for pausing y'all life to play this video. I appreciate the views and the likes from last Free Talk Friday. So I tell people all the time, being blind isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's pros and cons to everything, just like, you know what I mean? It's pros and cons to everything. So, some pros and cons of having bad vision or no vision. Well, first of all, they call America the land of the free. You know what I mean? That's what's up. As far as I know, America is the only country that looks out for its blind people or disabled people in general. They give us a set amount of income a month, and it's up to us to try to make that work. Some people, my partners and my family that know my situation, they feel like the amount of money that I get isn't enough to live off of, but it could be worse. I can be in a different country not getting any money at all. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. A con is, like I say, it's only a little bit. It's they give me money, but it's only a little bit. I can barely make it stretch. I make it work. I make it do what it do, but it's hard. George Washington is tired of being stretched. You know what I mean? I stretch him too much, he gonna get ripped. But it's 38 million blind people in the whole world. On the whole planet of Earth, it's 38 million blind people. 27 million is visually impaired, and 17 million is it has some type of vision disability, like with glasses or something like that. I said 38 million, but I'm sorry, it's 38 million full blind people, 27 million visually impaired / blind, and 17 million people that wear glasses. So it's 1.5 billion blind people in the world. So I'm grateful for America and the little change that I get. Another pro and con is transportation. Transportation, it's hard. It's hard to get from one place to another. But I stay in Austin, and most major cities, they have something like Austin, which is a public transport system, like a door-to-door service. Not just the city bus, but it's also a door-to-door service that comes. But with that, I gotta book it a day in advance. It's not like I can just call them right now and tell them I have to be somewhere in 20 minutes and then come. No, I have to book it 24 hours in advance. So if I have an emergency or something, I will have to figure out how to solve that emergency. But as far as the public transit system, they have it, but it's loopholes and everything for it. So that is what it is. One more pro and con is working, as far as having a job, because there is blind people out there with jobs, but the blind people that's out there with jobs, they're not getting a Social Security check, and I look at it like this, it's all up to the employer to have faith in that certain blind person to do that job. But they do make specific jobs for blind people, like it's something called the Lighthouse of the Blind. I don't know if any of you heard of that, but it's called the Lighthouse of the Blind, and they have different jobs for visually impaired or blind people to work. But when you're working, you're not getting a check. And as far as I go, I have limited vision, so my vision is steady fading out. I had a job before. I'm not gonna say the name of the spot, but I had a job before, and I got an eye infection at that job. when I got an eye infection at that job, I had to quit, you know, because my vision decreased more. And then they cut my check because I had a job, you know. So that's just little pros and cons of a blind person. If y'all want me to do a part 2, I can do a part 2. But hashtag blind leading the blind, hashtag Free Talk Friday. I appreciate y'all for pausing y'all life. Keep it positive, keep it forward, keep it safe.